welcome to the Catletics channel or the Catletics podcast. I'm Elise and today's topic will be job interview, how to be your best and how to best prepare for your job interview. I will be giving several tips. I would divide them into three main categories, namely the first one is how to prepare, the second one is how to get in the best mindset, and the third one is how to do your really best while you're really at the job interview. First one, and I wouldn't say most important one, but the first one I do is getting to know the company you are applying to work for. When and who founded it, what are their values, how many colleagues do they have, etc., etc. These things are good to know because sometimes you're asked, and what can you tell us about the company, what have you read about this company, what do you think about this company, and then you will have some things to say. The more the better, but of course depending on what position you are applying for, obviously the higher position you apply for, the more you should know, or the more detailed or more focused on a certain area of a company you should know about, but you should know some things, that is for sure. While you're looking up the company, take notes. Take notes that you can take with you and look through while you're on your way, if you're going with public transportation or if you're going by car or you're walking, that you can look at while you're waiting to be interviewed, either in the car or in front of the building, but we will get to that later. The next things you should take notes on or go through again is the position you're applying for. What qualities are they looking for? What tasks will you have? Write these down, write down the main ones, and think about how you would fit into this position, into this picture. What are you bringing with you that would qualify you to be the right candidate for this job? If you're listing your qualities, your skills, try to bring examples. So don't just give them a list that, yes, I'm hardworking, I'm a good team player, etc. No, I am hardworking and I don't stop before I solve a problem or before I close a project. I am focused, I do not let any little tasks out of my sight, I take notes. So whatever your skills and soft and hard skills are, give examples. This will make it all more believable, and the more you're talking, the better. Yeah, but don't overdo the talking. But yes. The third one might be a little weird, but I really suggest that you do this, is take notes on yourself. So what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses? The tell me about yourself question is, I think I was asked in every single interview I have been to, and I have been to a few. So be ready to tell them about yourself and think through which topics you want to talk about. What I also suggest is not to go chronologically, but to go with a certain logic. So you can tell them, I am XY, I want to get here. Here is probably the position you are applying for, but maybe it's just a step before that. Then you can say, yes, my main direction is this one, and I am coming from here, these are my qualifications, and this is how I am ready to get into this position. Also, yeah, there are a lot of questions which can be asked, there are lists, but I can also make a video on this if you are interested. So if you want to hear more on the questions and possible answers, do's and don'ts in job interviews, give me the thumbs up and let me know in the comments. I also forgot to tell you in the beginning, but that is obvious, that we have an Instagram, we have a Facebook, we have a Patreon. You are more than welcome to follow us so you don't miss any updates. any news from us. There is some really exciting stuff coming in December, so I would most definitely subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because I wouldn't want to miss what's coming. It will be great. But back to getting the job we want. For preparation, I also do plan your route. So either you're going whatever way of transportation you're getting there. What I use is Google Maps. This is unfortunately not sponsored by Google Maps, but it's really a useful tool. You can also give him what time of the day you will be going there, so maybe there are traffic jams in that time of the day, and then you will know how long it will take for you to get there. With this, you will make it a lot more probable that you will get there on time. Guarantee, you cannot guarantee it, but you can really do your best. So as part of the preparation, I always do this. I always also try to take the day off, or at least a half day off, of when I'm going to the interview, because I won't have to stress on the day, I won't have to use my energy for work stuff. I can relax, I can get ready and not rush. So if you have the option, I would most definitely recommend that you take the day off when you're going for an interview. You won't also have to stress on if they will know that you're lying or not, because you probably are in a different position, and usually you have to tell the people why you're taking the day off or why you want to leave earlier, so on that day you won't have to stress about that. What I also do in preparation is prepare the clothes, the outfit, everything that I will be going in for the interview. Usually the rule is, or what I follow is, don't overdo anything. So don't put on a very dramatic makeup, don't put on very strong perfume, because maybe someone will have a memory or something will be too much for them, and then maybe they will be focusing too much on that and not on your personality and what you're talking about, because all this is also part of our communication. So yeah, try to be neutral but clean and proper. Don't wear any too strong colors. I would stay neutral, so that's not the thing that pops into their mind the first time, that oh yeah, that was the girl in the red blazer or whatever. No, the girl who had this interesting view on topic, whatever. Hopefully you have the job interview date at least a few days before the date itself. So the other thing, and this already has to do with the mindset. On the night before, try not to think about the interview. Try to just relax, do some sport, do some yoga, take a hot bath, wash your hair, whatever makes you feel calm. This is important because you might then get into the mindset, or I have the habit and tendency to get in the mindset of, okay, I have to go to bed early because I have this interview tomorrow, and oh my god, I have this interview tomorrow, but if I don't get it, what if I say something stupid? And then you get into this vicious cycle, and then you get to the place, which you know from the movies and probably from your own life, of, oh, now it's already midnight, if I go to sleep now, I will sleep 7 hours, oh, it's already 1 a.m, etc. So to not get into this situation, don't do any preparations on the night before. Try to do everything the days before, and then you can just be in the relaxed mindset. If you would get into this situation, then what I like to do, and not just before job interviews, but any anxious mindset situations, is think about, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen? And if you go through that and then already think of solutions, should the worst case scenario arise, then it won't be as scary and you won't be able to obsess about it that much. What you can also do is, of course, drink some tea that is good for sleep. There are a lot of tea options, or yeah, do exercise a little bit before going to bed, so you're tired and it's more likely that you go to sleep. When you have already gotten to the job interview location, what I usually try to do is, if it's not very far away, to be there 50 minutes earlier. If it's further away than half an hour or 45 minutes before the planned interview start time. However, I do not go into the building before it's about 5 minutes before the interview. And I will tell you why. I personally don't like it if I invite someone to my house for 2 o'clock in the afternoon and they're there at 2:30 or 1:45, because then I usually have still 10 minutes of preparation time, in my mind at least, and I am not ready yet. Probably the interviewer or the interviewers have some other tasks they have to do, maybe they're still doing another interview, and you will already then be in this more anxious situation with this more adrenaline state of mind. So try to stay in your car or walk around in front of the building or stay in the area and only go in 5 minutes before the interview, because then you won't have time to block your thoughts maybe. I'm sorry for the lovely kids from the neighbor, if you are hearing them, they are a treat. So do not go in only 5 minutes before the interview, because then they can see, okay, yeah, she was here or he was here on time and it's all good, and you won't have time to obsess again. What is important to keep in mind when you are already there is that first impressions are really, really important. So smile, keep your body language open, do not cross your arms or do not shy away. Make sure that you have a straight back, an open chest, and smile. Try to keep eye contact. If they offer you a drink, what I like to drink is still water. So not sparkling, because that can lead to some technical difficulties. And I would stay clear of coffee, because it also has a function that, paired with some anxiety, it could have some unwelcome effects. So water is great, and if you get water, it's also, first of all, positive that you accept what they're offering. And on the other hand, if you would get stuck in a train of thought, you just reach for the water, drink slowly. The movement itself has a calming effect on me, and you win some time for yourself to gather your thoughts. And if your voice is starting to get like mine is now, it is also really good that you can shrink a little bit. What is also really important is the handshake. Try to practice this. Oh yeah, once you have taken all your notes, then try to ask someone to go through with you. So not just write everything down, but also practice telling the story of yourself, the answers, the information about the company, because the more experience you have in it, the more relaxed you can do it live. The more relaxed you can answer, the less you have to think about them. There's then the less risk of you getting stuck in the middle of your thought and not being able to say anything. What is also important to keep in mind is, should you stop? Because should your brain freeze, try to say anything. It's okay. You can say, oh, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Where was I? Or I lost my track of thought, but can we move on to the next question? And if I find what I wanted to say in my mind, then I will let you know. And I think this gives a good impression, because you are frank. They say that you're communicative, so if you have an issue, you can communicate about that with them. This is really positive, and you also won't have that awkward silence. It is also important to keep in mind, if you're really anxious, is that your interviewer has probably been in the situation where you are in now. This is a stressful situation. The person who goes to a job interview is brave. You can't deny that. It's a really, really stressful situation. It shows that you are capable of change. If you don't like the situation you are looking to change that. You are proactive. So a job interview in itself is already a great achievement. Do not forget about this. And your interviewer, their main motivation is getting to know you in these 15-30 minutes that you are talking to them. They will be trying to bring out the best in you, to get to know you, to see if you fit into the profile of this position, to the company, to the team. So just try to be yourself and do not overthink and over-obsess. No one will try to make you uncomfortable. Probably quite on the contrary. So do not overstress in these situations. If you have planned your route, but you see that there's some kind of obstacle, there's a traffic jam or whatever, and you will definitely not make it on time, even if it's just a few minutes, what I always do, I let them know, either in text or I call or I send an email and tell them that, hey, this is me, I would have the appointment or I would have my first day at this time and I will be so and so late because this happened, and yeah, I'm sorry, and I'm really trying to get there on time. This way they know what's up. They will know that you are reliable because you are trying to get there on time. You communicate if there's something wrong, and yeah, such things can happen to anyone. So do not stress in these situations. Just let your interviewer or the people you are going to for the appointment know what's up. While you're going to the interview, what I always do for getting in the right mindset, you already have the clothes on that you have laid out the night before. I have forgotten to say that I always try to put on some kind of jewelry or piece of clothing or whatever that brings me luck, because either it reminds me of someone or someone gave it to me as a talisman of sorts, or I already had a successful job interview or presentation or whatever in that item. So when I look at it or I feel that it's on me, then it makes me feel better. The other thing in the mindset is listening to upbeat, motivational, I'm the best kind of music. If you like, I can share my playlist that I have used or the songs that I listen to while driving to interviews. Singing also reduces stress, so I really recommend this, except if you're going to the interview by walking or public transportation. In that case, I would probably not sing, but it's up to you. So yeah, listening to music can really reduce stress and get you in the mindset of, yes, I'm the best, I can do this, they should hire me, and if they don't, then the problem is not with me. This will give you a boost that when you walk in there, they will think, wow, this person really has that thing, that energy going, and we should really hire them. If they ask the question of, do you have any questions, always say yes, you do. You should prepare some questions in advance. The main ones I usually use are, when should I expect an answer, feedback regarding this interview, will there be any more rounds of interviews, if yes, what will they contain, what will they look like. If you do not receive an answer by the time that they have told you that you should receive one, I usually wait 3 more days, working days, before I contact them, and I usually contact them via email and ask them, hey, I'm Elise, I was here and I had an interview with you or with Mr. or Miss someone, and I was told I would get an answer by this time. Is there maybe an update on this? If there's no update, at least you know that you still have to wait. They know that you are really interested in the job and you are still open to the job. And if they say, oh yeah, sorry, forgot to tell you, no, you didn't make it, then you know, and you're not waiting in vain. Because it's also important to know. And should this happen, so should they say, oh sorry, no, we didn't pick you, it can be really hard, it can be really bad, especially in the situation that we have now with COVID, so that a lot of positions are cancelled and a lot of people are fired. It can seem really bad. Just remember, if they didn't hire you for the position, maybe it's not the right position for you, even if it really looked like it is. Maybe it's not, and your place is somewhere else. And why I'm saying this, and why I know I would be rolling my eyes at this point and saying, yeah, okay, sure. I applied for a position last January, and then the whole interview process was a bit longer because some people were on holiday and such. And I actually went on a test day, and there they already verbally almost said, yeah, you got the job. And then COVID happened, and then I wrote an email to them a few weeks later with, hey, what's up? And then they said, oh no, it's still open, don't worry, it's okay. And then 1.5 months went by, and then I wrote to them again asking, hey, what's up? And then they said, oh yes, sorry, no, you didn't make it. And then I was crushed. I have to tell you, I already wrote thousands of applications, to which in 90% I didn't get any reply. It can be soul crushing and really tiring that after a long day of work, which you probably don't really like, because that's why you're looking for a new job, you have to sit down in front of the computer again and work on your resume and everything. And yes, it can all be in vain. What I'm trying to get to is I really felt that this position was meant to be for me. And when I didn't get it, I was really sad. And then I applied to a few more positions, and then I got a job at a place that I didn't really like. And here is where it gets really good, like a fairy tale almost. I started applying to positions again. I got rejections or nothing again, and then I got a call out of nowhere from a company which I have applied for way back, saying, hey, we have this position and we had your resume because I allowed them to, and yeah, would you be interested? And I was like, yeah. And I got the interview, I got the job, and it is a lot more, and I know this for a fact, it's a lot better suited for me in every single way than the other one would have been, which I really thought was the one for me in spring. And back then I really didn't think there would be anything better suited, anything better, and there was, and I think that is why I didn't get that job. The way that company handled it is another thing, but for me personally it is a lot better now. So what I'm trying to say is, do not give up. It can be soul crushing, it can be demotivating, but do not give up, because there is a position waiting for you. If there's no position waiting for you, maybe that's because you should try to be an entrepreneur and do something of your own, do your own company, start your own company, be your own boss. So just, if you feel like you're really stuck, maybe that's not the right way you're really trying to go. So then I would really just stop and think about what my real plans are, where I really want to get at, and if you really want something, and if you're really working hard to get there, you will. And this is, it has to be. So that was all. The last bit was a bit more spiritual, but I hope you didn't mind. If you want to hear my first job interview and my funniest most adventurous interview, then listen to the podcast. It will be in the end, so I will be stopping the camera now, but I will still be recording the sound. If you liked this video, then subscribe, give us the thumbs up, follow us on Instagram, as I already said before. There is fun stuff coming in December which you definitely don't want to miss, and if you become our Patreon, you will see extra stuff, so I would definitely do that. Thank you for listening to me. Let me know about your tips, your best and worst interviews, and see you in our next video. Bye.